struggle with anxiety and a lot of fear. And I called him and I said, can you just call me and leave a voicemail that says you're going to be okay? And he did. And I gave it to the producer and he put it in that track. And so if you listen to it later, when I say, you're going to be okay, you'll hear, you're going to be okay. In the track. But you can only hear it if you're listening because that's how he wanted it. But now I'm telling you so that you can really hear it and you can be embarrassed. But anyway, thank you. Thank you for being the best, one of the best antidotes to my fear. God uses community, amen? And so I do struggle with that a lot. And my mom's here this morning and she doesn't remember me being afraid a lot as a kid, and she is right. And I don't know, somewhere in our fallen, broken world, I became a really anxious, fearful person. And that's not because of a lack of faith. I think sometimes we struggle with things, and so people automatically assume that we must have a lack of faith. I think that maybe we're just human. So I wrote this next song specifically about that very thing that a wise man told me once. Your heart will not believe what your mouth will not speak. And so you may feel alone, but you can look in the mirror and say, I feel alone, but I am not alone. Amen. You can look in the mirror and you can say, I feel broken, but I'm beautiful. We can look in the mirror and we can say a lot of things that we feel, but we must speak what is true. And so the truth is, I am never, ever alone, because you are with me, you are for me, you are behind me, in front of me, on the side of me. So this is, I'm not alone. When I feel afraid, you tell me that you'll stay and hold me, so hold me. And when I run away, you tell me that's okay, you'll find me, so come find me. Darkness closes in, I just say your name, Jesus. you so much. Speak that truth. Speak it. I wrote this song a long time ago, and it's one of the most requested, and so I wanted to do it for you this morning. Pretty broken people, and I love being in the presence of people, but the prerequisite for being here is to say, I don't have it all together. It makes people feel loved, and it makes people feel safe, and it makes people feel less alone, which immediately makes them feel full of hope. This is a song called Cut. us at the summit in Austin back in January. So the rest of you, this is your first summit, is that right? Single-handedly, I can tell you this is no joke. I've told them, I've told my family, that was one of the most rewarding shows I've ever played. Because like I said earlier, to be amongst people that have taken off the mask, to be amongst people that have said, thank you for grace. To be among what is real, and there's this air of not arrogance, but of humility and of kindness and of love and of service. And I was like, I just want to go and tour the whole world with that whole room full of people all the time, all over the world. But if memory serves me correctly, it was the first time that I'd ever played the single Beautifully Broken. And that song has come to mean so much to me. I wrote it for a film that was going to be coming out, and I took a pause from the making of the record for a week to do that. And God's timing is pretty impeccable. We don't think it is, we doubt it all the time, but His timing is truly perfect. And that interruption after finishing the song was a major, major trajectory of that record, trajectory changer. Because after we finished it, we realized not only did it belong on this record, but the record should be called that because what the song represented of it doesn't matter what you've done, it doesn't matter what's been done to you, it matters whose you are. And every song that was on this new record as we were making it, some artists make records differently. Mine is kind of a journal put to life, like from the last record till now, kind of what's transpired in that time frame is what I put to song. And every song on this record stemmed from a story, whether it was my own or someone close to me, of brokenness. And I felt like, wow, how perfect God's timing to bring in a song that says, you are mine, and that is all that matters. I can redeem it, I can restore it, I can renew it, I can forgive it, I can heal it, I can fix it, I can make it mine for my kingdom. So, man, I can't speak to that enough. And my heart for the broken comes from a broken girl to the broken. And so, in any way, shape, or form that you feel that this morning, some of you are here because you have found such tremendous healing and redemption in your life, and you are here to celebrate that, right? Some of you are here this morning because it is still a daily challenge, and you know what? It may be till kingdom comes, but you will not walk through that by yourself, and you can take that one day at a time and say, you are beautifully broken. I love you guys. Every tear, every doubt, every time you've fallen down, when you're hurting, feeling shame, when you're numbing all your pain, when you've lost your way and feel so far away, you're beautifully broken. This is God's love song. Goodness, blah, blah, blah. Love song to you. Mistakes got dirty from the message you played, but I whisper, that's okay. I love you, despite what you say. Take another chance on my love. No matter what you've done right, no matter what you've done wrong, you've been fighting so long. Mad in love with you. He is not mad. He's not even disappointed. He hurts with you. He rejoices. Somewhere around 4th grade, I think I had a Sunday school teacher that made me think that he was lurking around a corner, watching for me to mess up, to give me a consequence. When my marriage fell apart, and I was sitting alone in my kitchen, that's not the God that I met. I met the ultimate lover, the ultimate father, the ultimate husband, the ultimate friend. He wrapped me up. And he said, begin again. And I've had to begin again a lot of times, sometimes daily. I'm really thankful for Lamentations 3:23 that says, His mercies are new every single morning. I think somewhere along the line we think that we have some punch card that if we abuse His grace too much, that it won't have the value that He's promised it would have. That maybe once we are too sinful or too damaged or too broken or too addicted or too anything, that at some point He just kind of loves us but He kind of washes His hands too. And that's a lie. I certainly don't walk around encouraging people to be broken. In fact, the fallen world that we live in would say that brokenness is inevitable. And so that's why Jesus came. And He lived as an example to love and to serve, to love and to serve, and to love and to serve. That's what He said, to love and to serve. And we get that pretty complicated. And He also knew how broken. So He didn't just die for us, but then He takes a little trip over to hell and conquers sin and death. And then He does the impossible so that nothing is ever truly impossible, because He overcame sin and death and He resurrected, and He wants to resurrect our lives, our hearts, our marriages, our spirits, our souls, our careers, our dreams, everything in your life that has been beaten and bruised, damaged, dead. He knows. He knew. So He did that so that He could use it. And so it's not about, go get broken so God can use it. It's accept that you are and offer it to Him. I'm a lists girl. I like a list. I like do these 3 things. I like things that just kind of give me steps. And so some of you may think, well, where do you start? You know, it's easy to say, here's my brokenness. But what does that look like? First of all, it means bringing it into the light, speaking that truth out loud. God, I need your help. And God, I struggle with, and then fill in the blank. Get it out of your head, get it out of your heart, because He already knows. Once you bring it into the light, He can start doing surgery. And then, quit orchestrating, quit manipulating, quit controlling. I've done those things. They don't work out. But when you take your hands off and you say, what do I do? And He gives you that still small voice in your chest, in your mind, in your heart. He says, stop. Or He says, go. Or He says, give. Or He says, wait. Listen to that voice. Respond to that voice. I'm as human as you. I'm as broken. And every time I resist that and I do what I want to do, I do not have peace. And I love to say something very important that I've learned over the last couple of years. When you feel anxious, when you feel guilty, when you feel ashamed, when you feel fear, those are not from Jesus. They're not from Jesus. So if you feel those things, that's the enemy trying to make you doubt that if you brought it into the light. Conviction and guilt are 2 different things. Conviction makes you run to the feet of Jesus and say, forgive me, or help me, or guide me. Guilt makes you want to keep hiding it, and that's the enemy speaking into your heart and your mind. And so if you feel that, if you feel about keeping something hidden, don't be afraid. The God of the universe is saying, bring that to me. Now that doesn't necessarily mean He's telling you to post it on social media or go tell somebody that you love so that it hurts them. That's not necessarily what God is saying. God is saying, give that to me. And when I tell you what to do with it, I need you to respond. But I think the very, 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 very first step in anything that we do is to acknowledge His presence and to say His name, because there's power in that. So God, I just speak your name, Jesus, over this place this morning. God, God, we love you so much. We need you terribly. We are incredibly thankful and grateful for the forgiveness that you give us, the grace and the mercy that you pour out, the love that we don't deserve. Give us the courage to speak your name. Give us the courage to bring to your feet the convictions of our hearts, the things that you're trying to reveal to us in order to make us more like the person that you created us to be. Help us to not get so caught up in regret. Help us to not think that because of what we've done, we have missed out, we have ruined our opportunities for your kingdom. That is a lie. You don't need us. From day one, you've never needed us. You have wanted us all along. And we may have missed out, we may be missing out, but your mercy is new. It's right now, it's fresh. So for someone in this room today that needs to hear, begin again from your compassionate voice, that they need to feel your arms of love wrapped around them. Help them to feel that right now, that you are good and that you love them, and that you're not mad. You're excited that they're here in your arms. We just sing to you, Father. We worship you this morning. We bring all of that to you in your precious Son's name. Jesus.